Probably one of our most exciting new products is this addition to the Ultralite family of fly reels. This is called the Ultralite CLS series reel. CLS stands for Cassette Locking System. We're going to look at that cassette locking system in a little bit of detail shortly. The reel itself currently is available in two sizes, a 5000 and a 7000. The 5000 taking lines 5, 6, 7, the 7000 taking lines 7, 8, 9. There will probably be some more additions to that range at some point in terms of smaller and bigger sizes. The reel itself is manufactured from bar stock, 6061 aluminium. It's hard anodised. Some really interesting design features on this reel. It follows along with the group design of the Ultralite series, so it's a very large arbor. You would categorise it probably in the super large arbor category. It's very light in weight for its size. The advantage of that large arbor obviously is that it helps keep the fly line in larger coils, so that reduces line memory. It also gives you much quicker recovery of line per revolution of the handle, so it brings the line in a lot faster. Main features on this particular reel: spool release system, very easy. It's just a simple screw off captive nut, so you can't lose any of the parts. That removes the main spool. The really clever bit with this is this CLS mechanism, or cassette locking system. Basically, most reels of this type, the composite spool is held in place by a pre-tensioned rubber O-ring. Now what happens is when you push that spool on or take that spool off, you put stress onto that O-ring. With this system, the O-ring is under no pressure whatsoever. The O-ring is really only there to provide a small amount of friction to hold the spool in place. The actual spool is locked by this patented locking ring inside here. Very simple to use. It's simply a one push mechanism. Click to unlock, click to lock. No tension required. It's very easy to use. Unlock, that spool comes straight off. So we've got a very easy method, very secure method of locking that spool in and out of place. You can do it in a split second, and it's very reliable. There is nothing to go wrong with that. Left-right conversion, similar to all reels within the Ultralite family. We simply unscrew this central hub, very easy, turn the bearing over, and that gives us left-right conversion. So again, nice little simple feature. Inside the cage of the reel, we've got a multi-pad fibre disc drag system. Advantage of that: very smooth, low startup inertia, goes from a very low setting to more than you'll ever need on a freshwater reel. The drag control, just a small feature, but just goes to show some of the detail that we put into these products. If you look, the actual indent on the drag is very defined. So one turn, one click gives you an increase in drag. One turn, one click gives you a decrease in drag. So it's not like some reels where it's loose and you can have to really crank it to get the drag to work, or really back it off to get the drag to work. Very accurate, so you can set the drag and forget about it. The real key feature on this particular product, one which solves a lot of problems that guys who carry lots of different fly lines around with them suffer from, is how you identify the fly line on the spool. A lot of you who do a lot of fishing will recognise this scenario here. This is one of my fishing bags. Lots of different reels, lots of different lines, and because I'm a typical fisherman, I'm quite lazy in a lot of ways. These spools, I actually write on them normally with a marker pen. So what I've got here now is a spool with a floating fly line on, which has die 3 sinking, weight forward 7 written on the spool. So basically, I don't know now what size line that is. I know what density it is because I can tell in this particular instance, but on some of these I've got no chance. Sinking lines are nearly always dark in colour. This one says it's a sink type 7. Is it? I don't know, it could be a sink type 5, I'm not sure, because in the end all I've got is some marker pen written on the spool. The new system basically allows us to identify line type, line size and sink profile. Now if you're doing a lot of stillwater fishing, the lines that we use have become more complicated over the last few years. We have belly first profiles, we've got sinking tip first profiles, lots of different things to take into account. Basically, with this system, the reel and spools are supplied with these little, simple to use friction fit pins. These simply click in to a hole. It's held in by friction, more than strong enough for normal use. It'll never drop out when you're using it. You actually need to physically push it through from the back with a pencil or something like that. These little pins I can put in line size, density and sink profile of the fly line I'm using. So I can identify all of the pertinent information on the back of the spool. If I come to change lines, very, very simple. I don't have to deface the spool in any way. I don't have to stick labels on it or write on it in marker pen. I can just move these pins around into the right little hole and it gives me all of the information I need. So really a very, very key feature of the Ultralite CLS range of reels. Really, I would say, probably one of the best reels we've ever developed for Hardy, and certainly going to be a very, very big seller, I would say. So that's the Ultralite CLS. In this case, this is the 5000, takes a 5, 6, 7, or actually at a push an 8 line.